Okay, just received yesterday my new Plasma Cut 50Z, and I will be the first one to tell you that I am no plasma cutting expert, nor am I going to edit any of this. I did use it yesterday for a couple of minutes, probably 2 or 3. I'm going to go ahead and stop now. I'll get it plugged in, and I've got a small piece of metal here lined up nice and rusty. We'll see what happens. It appears to be probably about a 16 gauge maybe, and we'll show you how this thing cuts through that. As I said, I'm no expert. I've got a whole 3 to 4 minutes of plasma cutting experience so far. So let's get this puppy hooked up and see what happens. Alright, I've got it hooked up. I've got my temporary air supply hooked up. I did order a new filter, and it'll be in sometime next week, and I'll make all that a little bit more permanent. When it came, I did have to put on the 220 plug that matched what I currently have. Did have to install the regulator slash air supply to it, and that was really about it. So from this point, power switch is on the back, right over here. Flip that on. You'll see some interesting information. Turn the power on here. It tells us how much air pressure we have, and by the way, that's equivalent to about 65 pounds. As you can kind of see indicated on the meter. Anyhow, that's the translation. Right now it's currently set at 36 amps, and the very first thing that you gotta know about this, and it took me a minute to figure out, is before it actually turns on and activates, you'll notice the run light is not on. You actually have to push and release the button one time on the torch. That activates the machine, and it is now ready for use. Here's my metal. It's a little rusty. If it doesn't cut this first try, then I'm going to have to do some grinding to make a better ground, but I'm going to try it anyway. I'm going to grab my welding helmet, and I need to get this set up since I can't find my tripod, and a pair of gloves, and we'll see what happens. Okay, I now have my welding helmet on, and it's got a switch inside for plasma cutting. I haven't tried it yet. Hopefully it works. Got on a pair of gloves, and we're gonna see what happens when we fire this bad boy up. Here goes nothing. Well, it sure seemed to cut that just like butter. It's going to blow air until it cools off a bit. Now let's see what happens if we put a bit of a straight edge. See if I can actually cut a straight line. It's got a piece of tile that I used the other day. It appears that the rust didn't seem to make too much difference. Here we go. Straight line attempt cut. I'd say that's pretty straight, and that was a pretty fast cut. And as you can see, that's a heck of a clean cut. If you can see that there. Well, that was fun. Let's get some thicker metal, see what happens. Okay, I have a piece of 3/8 steel. You can see I chopped a little bit of it out yesterday. See if I can do a little better today. I am going to increase the amperage to maximum, which is 50. It's just pushing a button. If I didn't have the camera wedged up there in the perfect location, I would have shown you, but it's just pushing a button, so it's pretty simple. So we'll see what happens cutting 3/8 metal. that just actually blows me away. I mean, it seemed to have plenty of power there, maybe not, but it seems like it would easily do a 1/2 inch. It's supposed to do a 1/2 inch up to 5/8 even for a severance cut, I guess is what they call that. But for simplicity and me having a whole 6 minutes of experience so far, unbelievable. I'm just blown away. The quality, this is an upgraded torch handle, which would come with it. It's the SG51 version. I would recommend getting a set of consumables. You get 62 pieces for about 35 bucks, and I would include those, you know, at the time of purchase as well. I do have, this is 62 piece consumable parts, the squirrel ring, the nozzles, and the electrode, I guess is what they call that. But like I say, this is about 35 bucks, and my guess is that's going to last me an awful long time. Well, that's about all I've got to show on the plasma cutter. Couldn't have been any happier with this machine so far. Can't wait to actually come up with a real project for it. Other than that, so far all's good. Happy bidding and take care.